My mom, she worked two jobs growing up. She sacrificed so much. She showed me what hard work look like, and she taught me what I needed to do as far if I want to be successful in life. The things I need to do, bring that consistency, stay humble, and she's always pushed me to be great, and that's what something I try to take in stride, and I've always tried to. I would say make my mom proud of the son she raised, and I always try to live by that. And yeah, growing up, I wanted to play football. Football was my favorite sport at the time, and she basically said, "No, son, I'm not going to let you play football, and basically you have to figure something else out." So at first, the initial thing was like, baseball was definitely last on my radar. So I said, "Hey, I'll try basketball then," and then things didn't go as planned, and I ended up trying out for the basketball team. I got cut, and yeah, so I was like, "Well, I kind of was very upset, and I refused to go back out for basketball. So, couldn't play football. Now I got cut from the basketball team. And hey, I was like, hey, what's left? Baseball. So I decided to take a stab at it. And long story short, here I am, I guess. My first practice, I remember I didn't have any cleats. I didn't have a glove. I didn't have a bat. I didn't have any equipment. I basically showed up with, like I said, some basketball shoes. I think I had some jean shorts on and a collared shirt and full practice. So right from the start, I didn't have any equipment. I had to borrow everything early on. But I had such good coaches, such good teammates and friends and family in my life that, they helped me, they helped with that. And that's why I always thank them with so many special people in my life. But yeah, I just showed up with jeans, collar shirt on, and basketball shoes. And I remember we were out there running the 60 because we were training, running the 60-yard dash, see who was the fastest, and we doing drills or whatnot. And I had to borrow everything. But one thing I was always, I was always the fastest. That's one thing I could do. I could always run. JV as a sophomore, I played third base for about 2 weeks, and they decided to move me to the left field. And then my junior year in high school, I made the varsity team, but I didn't play much. I kind of sat the bench, I pitch hit here and there, maybe run for somebody every now and then, but that was about it. And then my senior year in high school, I was so disappointed about sitting the bench my junior year. Sitting the bench was something that it bothered me a lot, and I couldn't stand it. I would sometimes pout and be upset that I wasn't playing. So I took it upon myself to, like I said, go during lunch, hit off the machine to improve my game as a player. I remember just being outside, at home during the summer, just throwing balls up in the backyard, pretending it's a fly ball and just launching balls as far as I could, running sprints in my backyard, just stuff I did on my own because I refused to sit on the bench my senior year. I didn't do well with failing, but I did really well. I had to learn how to fail because, like I said, no one really teaches you how to fail in this game or what failure looks like in baseball. I just kind of went out there and played, and I didn't fail a ton early on, even though I didn't start playing baseball till late. But learning how to fail was something that I took very, very tough. I took it hard, but also on top of that, I did well with criticism from other people, and it was just something that I learned to just apply it to my motivation, apply it to my game. And like I say, I've always been the guy when somebody's beating you down, find a way to get up, find a way to bounce back and overcome it. So I think my journey proves what kind of mindset I had and the mindset I think I needed as a player to be in the position I am today. First, when I got drafted, I didn't even know it was draft day. They called my house and like, hey, we drafted you in the 17th round. And I remember just hanging up the phone saying, okay, thank you. And my mom's like, hey, who was that on the phone? I was like, oh, some guy saying they drafted me in the 17th round. And I was clueless about the entire situation. I didn't know anything about baseball. I knew that I was tired of going home every day doing chores. I wanted to be a part of something, Joel. Like I needed to be a part of something. And I found a baseball family that I was a part of. And I know that I enjoyed my time in high school. I had a blast. So I turned on the TV and just as sure as on the clicker at the bottom, it says Lorenzo Cain and Alcides Escobar and, Jeffries, Older Easy has been traded to Kansas City for Zach Greinke. And I'm stunned. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to expect. So now my phone's just blowing off the hook. It's crazy. Everybody's calling me, hey, man, you just got traded and this and that. And I'm like, oh, I just found out just like you guys. So I found out late. I didn't know until my mom found out before I knew. So I was kind of, I would say I had mixed emotions. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to think. But the trade to Kansas City not only I would say it ended up being basically the best career move I could ever wish for. It felt like just a band of brothers, felt like family in that clubhouse. I'm not saying we were all the most talented players. I think we were all solid players. I don't think we had any like crazy superstars on the team, but we had consistent, talented players that can do a little bit of everything. And I feel like we fed off of each other's game. I feel like we would try to, I wouldn't say one up each other, but that keep the line moving motto was something that we took to heart, and we believed in the guy behind us, and I think that's the biggest thing when you believe in your teammates and you trust your teammates. That's a big hurdle to overcome, but we all felt the same way for each other, and once you feel a certain way about a group, once you believe in each other as a group, I think that can take you a long way. And I feel like that's why we ended up getting an opportunity to play in two World Series and ultimately winning one. Joe, I've been playing a while. I got opportunity to play for a long time, and 14 was heartbreaking. I think it knocked the wind out of all of us. But I will say this: that very next year, 2015, when I tell you I've never seen every single person show up in shape, ready to go, that's when I knew that we were going to do something special that season. I didn't know we were going to win the World Series, but I knew that season would be special because it's usually maybe one or two, maybe three or four guys that's out of shape or not ready to go. That's always the case every single year. But that year, everyone was ready to go. Everyone was locked in, and you can see a sense of let's go out here and get it done this year. And that's one thing also, everybody's showing up ready to go, that we fed off of each other. It rubs off on everyone. And I think from day one of spring training to the end of the season, we were all locked in, ready to rock. Stepping on that field, seeing all those fans, the energy, that hit me. And then, that initial fan shock, it hit me because, so many people showed up. And then you seeing my mom, my wife, my family, my agent, my in-laws, and all my friends that came as well, just seeing everybody and knowing how many special people I had in my life that showed up for my ceremony. It made me feel good inside. It made me feel like I was respected as a person, that I impacted people's lives in a positive way. And that is what made me feel, that is what made me get emotional on the field. It all just kind of hit me at once.
Yeah.
And, I had so much more I wanted to say, but I knew that, they had a game going that night. So I cut a lot of it short, but I just didn't think I would be that emotional. But it was a real feeling. And I just wish that every single player could experience what I experienced that day in Kansas City.